So you guys who watched my November 2013 update, and I know I kind of made that video kind of vague. I wasn't really talking too much because I wasn't really feeling like talking about too many details about what's been going on. But I wanted to get the general idea out there, the general picture of my whole situation. And well, basically, I wanted to do another, just something to throw out there because I was getting some questions from you guys like, oh, what's going on? Are you okay? And are you working out there in Pomona? All this and that. So I figured I just would without saying too much information. I just wanted to clear some things up and so you guys understand the severity of the situation and what I'm going through. Basically, I'm not able to do anything for an income right now. I'll just tell you guys the main reason. In early November, I got a message from my cousin on Facebook telling me that he had something really important to tell me, and he was wanting to call me, which was highly unusual because this guy hardly ever talks to me on Facebook, just every now and then, and he hasn't ever been like really feeling the need to ever like really call me about something. So immediately I smelled it in the air, just something didn't seem right. So he didn't even have my phone number, so I had to give him my number. And so he called me and he said, Brian, he sounded very down. And he was like, Brian, I have something, very, sad or important. I forget the exact words. But he told me, he sounded very serious. He told me, Brian, listen, your mother is very sick right now. And she's dying and this and that. And I don't remember, I don't know the exact words, but basically to that effect. And I was just I didn't know how to take it. I was just like just totally like my mind was just totally blank, and I was just like in total shock and disbelief. I was like, this can't be, this isn't happening, this isn't happening, this isn't happening. And I haven't spoken for you guys who have been following my channel for any length of time and watched my videos. I haven't really spoken to my mother in almost 5 years. I don't even want to talk about the whole past situation right now because that's in the past. I've decided to just go ahead and leave that be in the past, and but we didn't get along, and I'll just leave it at that. So basically what what happens is I was alone in the house at the time when I found out. So I'm just like sitting there in front of the computer, just like, this isn't happening, this isn't happening, this isn't happening, this isn't happening, just like over and over and over and over again in my mind, and even out loud a few times, I think. Because I was just, yeah, it's pretty shocking news for anyone to get about any parent or loved one in general. And even though we had our differences and all this and that, she's still my mother, and I still felt like, oh shit. So it's been a roller coaster of emotions, and now you guys understand what I mean by that. So basically, my father later got home, and I told him the news, and he burst into tears. And so my cousin told me the room number in the hospital she was in. Oh, and he also told me it was pancreatic cancer, which is not good. Not good at all. Not very good at all. So I tell my father all this, and he's bursting in tears, crying, And so we immediately start planning to go over to the hospital to go and visit her. And so we get there, and I'm just like, you can only imagine the amount of emotions and anxiety that's going through my mind. And so I walk up, we go to the door and we walk in, and as soon as she sees me, she gets all emotional, and we hug each other, and she tells me she loves me, and I tell her I love her. And so, and everything's totally changed, and like our whole relationship towards each other and all this and that, it's totally different now. We're seeing things from a totally different perspective. And so yeah, that's the main thing that I wanted to get out there. I don't want to say too many details about too many things that are going on, but now you guys will understand the emotional state that I'm in right now. I've see that this happened in the geez, I can't even think. All this stuff happened in the beginning of November. Like I said, I found out, I think it was November 7th, and so I had to come out to Pomona, and she was working actually for a while fixing computers, like like what I do. I actually taught her a lot of things, and so I guess like she had the same interests, kind of inspired by me, I guess. And I should get some water here. It's just been a long day. It's just, we're trying to move a lot of stuff out of the apartment because she was working, and ever since she was diagnosed and she's been in the hospital, she hasn't been able to work, and she doesn't have any savings anymore. And the lease over here is expiring, so we got to find a cheaper place. And so anyway, yeah, it's been really crazy, and we've been having to go through all the stuff, move everything, and get rid of a bunch of stuff. We're getting rid of like 90% of all the belongings here, and so one of the things was a security cam system with 8 cameras that she bought brand new for like $500 back when she was financially better and she was working, because she was planning to potentially open up her own business. And so, but that never ended up happening for the reasons I just described. And so, that the most valuable things she's given to me, like this car that I'm sitting in right now. So I've been trying to sell that because I haven't really been able to do anything for money lately, since I'm like pretty much full time here in Pomona, taking care of her and helping her and making sure nothing happens, that kind of stuff. So basically, I don't really have any other way to make income, any substantial income, other than just some residual AdSense. That's really the only thing saving my ass right now. So, and then with all this stuff going on, and this car right here, I found out when I took it to Long Beach and I was coming back, there was this hill that I was driving up over, this big hill. For those who may be familiar with the area, it's the Kellogg Hill on the 10 freeway, over here in Pomona, California. So I was passing through there, and I started noticing my car was like really slowing down, and I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And so I started punching the accelerator more and more, and it wasn't picking up speed really, and I ended up getting to the point where I was like literally flooring the thing and like really pushing my foot down hard on the accelerator all the way down, and I wasn't even going 50 miles an hour. I was going like 45, 46, 47, around there. And so I've tried changing the fuel filter. The fuel pump, it seems to be okay as far as I can tell right now. The most likely cause is a clogged up catalytic converter, which will probably cost me at least 600, I mean, not 600, 300, but it could go up to like 600, you know, in the 3 to 600 range. I'm uh, I'm kind of hoping that it's like bolted on there as opposed to, welded on there. And, because I can save a lot of money if I can do it myself and just go down to AutoZone and get the replacement part. And all I got to do is get my jack stands from Long Beach and get under the car and do it. But it's just so many things happening at once right now. My mother and having to move in a hurry, and then the car having these problems. It's just too much, guys. Too much. Too much. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how this is all gonna play out. I'm, pretty much stuck on this roller coaster for the next at least several months. So, some of you guys were like commenting in the last video, like, "Oh, you're gonna start working and this and that." No, it's gonna be a lot more complicated than that. It's just, emotionally, financially, it's just everything's so complicated and just so fucked up right now, guys. It's just, like, I just want to wake up from this dream already. I can't believe all this is happening. So, I don't know. It's something, a lot of things are changing very rapidly right now in my life. And so that's why I haven't really been so active on YouTube. I do plan on continuing all this, and throughout. And, but, it's not going to be the same for a while, is basically my point that I'm trying to make. Just a lot of things that have changed my whole emotional state, everything. I'm gonna have to be taking a lot of things from here that I want to keep, like sentimental stuff from my childhood and all that. Take it over to Long Beach. But the thing is, over there in Long Beach, like, I've just been so depressed for so long, and not having a job, not having a girlfriend, not being able to go out, not really having much of a life at all, and just sitting there depressed all the time, living in a kitchen, basically a little 10 by 5 space, dining room space in a kitchen, but it's not really a dining room. It's just, just a little area next to the kitchen where I've been living for the past 3.5 years. So, I mean, not never having privacy, and, never having a place to bring a girl back to. Not that I really, meet many girls, especially in my financial situation, but, I try. Everybody needs a romantic companion in their life. So it's just like, but my life before then has been stressful enough already, and I just get so depressed, and, like, I'll sit there in front of the computer, and like my whole area is like really super messy, and I just like would stop caring, and I'll just sit there snacking on junk food all day and throwing all the wrappers down in the corner and stuff, all the containers. And my dad brought it up recently, and it's just, and I know, yeah, I know it's fucked up. I know it's dirty because it's their house and I'm living there for free. I shouldn't be trashing it and making it look like shit. I get that. It's just my emotional state. It's just, and then all this shit happens, and so that's why also when I say that, like, my head isn't in the right space to like go to school, go to college, and focus on studying on stuff. Not only do I not have the privacy and the peace and quiet, but I don't have it emotionally either. I'm just all over the place. I can't even, even in this video right now, I'm kind of scatterbrained and kind of like up in the cloud right now. I'm just like, it's just unbelievable, all the shit that I've gone through, all the shit that I'm going through, and all the shit that I'm gonna go through, related to this event, this whole situation. Whichever way it goes, it really could go either way. I mean, on the bright side, you know, that the hope is that my mother will live a while, a long while, you know, at least. You know, just kind of like one of those things, you know, that you want to just keep your fingers crossed for, even though the doctors say different things. Um, yeah, you know, anything can happen, but you know, I'm realistic too. You know, it's just so much though. So anyway, I was saying that my space over there in Long Beach is really just a total mess. The little computer shop that I built outside, it's a mess too. The garage, I used to have it organized, but then I started going through. I was trying to like find stuff sometimes, and you know, but like when you know, because it's a 2-car driveway, and there's 3 cars that you know at the time when I was over there. So so like a lot of times, like out like when someone would leave and the garage door would be free to open, I would go in and dig around for stuff, and then someone would come home, and so I'd run out of there in a hurry, and so all the stuff, you know, over time has gotten really just thrown all over the place and turned into a mess. So I've got a mess over there, and then I've got to, you know, I got to go back over there, and I got to get rid of stuff to make room for like the sentimental stuff here out in Pomona that I want to keep. But then I got these car issues, so I'm gonna have to be depending on rides from family or something, or if I can fix this car, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's just so much to worry about, and right around the holidays, you know. You know, usually most people, families right now are looking forward to Christmas, spending time with their loved ones, having a good time, celebrating, having a big meal, opening presents, all that fun, happy stuff. And I'm just like in just total, yeah, total chaos right now in every sense of the term, you know, in on every level is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's all I basically wanted to say in this video. I actually made this a lot longer than I was planning on, but so yeah, that's what's been going on with me. I know I realize I've gotten criticized a lot for this on YouTube for asking for donations through PayPal, but right now, I mean, because I was working at the Home Depot day labor thing, and I was starting to actually make some money for a change, and starting to actually put a little bit away, and I was like wanting to start rebuilding my savings, and then all this shit happened, so I can't even go and do any of that anymore. And I know fucking trolls out there are gonna think, oh, you're just doing a fake video and trying to get more money, and you know, whatever shit. Fucking people out there. Whether or not you guys choose to believe me, that's up to you. I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, if you're good at judging someone's character and good at, you know, just, you know what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys. Well, I know that the people who doubt me are in the minority, but I just wanted to throw that out there. But anyway, the point I was making is, if any of you guys out there who, you know, have been following my channel for any length of time and feel for my situation and recognize just the profound, overwhelming situation that I'm in right now and wish to help me, I would love that. But I see, that's the thing. I've never liked asking for money. I've always been a person who, despite what my critics and trolls on YouTube say, I do prefer to well, not only make my own money, I like to even like learn and discover things myself. Like when somebody gives me the answer to something, I'm like, that. Basically, any and all donations that come in, big or small, I don't care, that they do help a tremendous amount. No matter what, no matter what the amount is, that they all do truly do help me, because yeah, this is just too much for me to handle alone. Um, and my father might be able to, help out a little bit, but I don't know how much. It might not be enough. I don't even know. I'm just saying. And anything I can, anything that I get right now will help tremendously, and it'll be put to good use. There's just like so many things going on. So anyway, I'm just gonna leave the video at that because I actually the camera memory card filled up, and I had to film this last scene again. It's kind of stupid, this cheap little camera, and it actually does film in HD, but even though I'm not filming in HD resolution right now because I'm editing on a little laptop that my mom gave me, which is, it's a decent laptop, it is, but it's not a very powerful laptop, is what I'm trying to say. Is it's designed for like, web browsing and emails and word processing, not video editing. So it's easier on the processor and everything if I save it in a lower resolution. So that's why also my last video was kind of like real grainy and kind of, really low detail and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. This is Brian from Network 126, signing out. Peace out. Adios. Good night.